Brain fog isn't always a sign that something is seriously wrong. But for many adults, it slowly becomes a frustrating part of daily life. Names become harder to remember, conversations require more effort, and staying focused on a book or even a simple task feels strangely exhausting. Most people assume this is simply what aging looks like. But that assumption may overlook something important. As the years pass, many people notice subtle changes in mental clarity. At first, they are easy to dismiss. Misplacing keys, forgetting why you walked into a room, reading the same paragraph twice because your mind wandered. These moments seem harmless, but when they become more frequent, they can create a sense of uncertainty that's difficult to ignore. Naturally, people respond the way they always have. They try to sleep more. They drink more coffee. They solve crossword puzzles. They buy supplements. They stay active. And while some of these habits can certainly help, many people still feel like something is missing. Despite doing all the right things, the fog remains. That's what makes brain fog so frustrating. The effort often feels out of proportion to the results. Over time, this frustration becomes emotional as well as practical. People begin questioning themselves. They wonder whether they are becoming forgetful, distracted, or simply getting old. Some avoid conversations because they fear losing their train of thought. Others stop reading books they once enjoyed because concentration feels more difficult than it used to. For years, the common explanation focused almost entirely on aging itself. But researchers have increasingly begun exploring deeper factors that may influence cognitive clarity. Inflammation, metabolic health, blood sugar regulation, and the way brain cells produce energy have become areas of growing interest. Rather than viewing mental sharpness as a single process, scientists now recognize that the brain depends on a complex network of systems working together. Think of it like a city. Most people notice traffic problems on the streets, but traffic jams are often caused by issues beneath the surface: damaged roads, poor coordination, or disruptions in energy supply. The visible problem isn't always the source of the problem. The same may be true for the brain. Surface symptoms like forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, or mental fatigue may represent only the visible layer. Underneath, factors affecting cellular energy and communication can gradually influence how efficiently the brain performs everyday tasks. One area receiving increasing attention is the relationship between blood sugar regulation and brain function. Brain cells rely heavily on glucose as fuel. But supplying fuel is only part of the equation. Those cells must also be able to use that fuel effectively. When that process becomes less efficient, some researchers believe it may contribute to cognitive symptoms that people often associate with normal aging. Another factor under investigation is chronic inflammation. Inflammation plays an essential role in the body's defense systems, but persistent low-grade inflammation may influence the health of neurons and the connections between them. Since communication between neurons is responsible for memory, focus, and processing information, disruptions in these networks may affect mental clarity over time. Researchers are also exploring environmental influences, including exposure to substances that may contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation. While many questions remain unanswered, these areas have become increasingly important in understanding why some individuals experience greater cognitive challenges than others. The real issue isn't simply getting older. It's understanding the complex systems that support the brain and how changes within those systems may influence cognitive performance. That perspective changes everything. Instead of viewing brain fog as an unavoidable decline, it becomes possible to see it as a signal, not a verdict. Not proof that something is irreversibly broken, but a reminder that brain health is influenced by many interconnected factors. Age certainly plays a role, but age alone rarely tells the entire story. This shift in perspective also removes unnecessary blame. Many people assume they have somehow failed, that they didn't exercise enough, didn't eat perfectly, or didn't do enough puzzles to keep their minds sharp. But brain health is far more complex than a single habit or a single choice. Understanding those deeper mechanisms provides something many people desperately need: context. That doesn't mean there are easy answers. And it doesn't mean every case of brain fog has the same explanation. But recognizing the role of metabolism, inflammation, cellular energy, and neural communication allows for a more complete picture of what may be happening beneath the surface. It's similar to maintaining a house. When the lights flicker, replacing the bulb may solve the problem. But sometimes the issue lies within the wiring itself. Addressing symptoms without understanding the underlying structure often leads to frustration because the visible problem keeps returning. Brain fog can work the same way. And as research continues to evolve, our understanding of cognitive health continues to expand with it. That may be one of the most encouraging developments of all. Because growing older doesn't automatically mean accepting confusion, loss of focus, or diminished confidence as inevitable. Understanding how the brain works and what influences its performance creates opportunities for better awareness and more informed decisions. If you'd like a structured breakdown and a practical guide that explores these concepts in greater detail, you can find additional resources in the description below. And if you enjoy thoughtful discussions about brain health and healthy aging, consider subscribing. There's always more to learn, and understanding is often the first step towards seeing things more clearly.